Well, I don't know about you guys, but I had a really good game week. A bounce back ability is the key buzzword for today. And I'm going to be talking through everything with about last week's game week results and how you guys have done. And hopefully Dino had a decent week as well. So we'll get into that. Stick around, guys. Good evening, ladies and gents, guys and girls, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to, well, we're on the main FFTV channel today because I'm trying to tease some of you guys over to my channel because what I don't realize is there's quite a few of you who are in our mini league, but I'm not seeing the same numbers over on the FFTV Premier League channel. So this is a little teaser to get you guys involved and hopefully a few more people watching these FPL shows, which me and Dino are really enjoying our moment. So I introduce you as if I need any, as if he needs any introduction. But Dino, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Hello, my name's Deano. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm pleased I've had a really good game week. So yeah, but I have. Well, I'll tell you about my transfers in a bit.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
get into
knee-jerked,
all.
I think, but
We'll get into all the nitty gritty, but just while you're here, guys, make sure obviously what I'd like you to do is subscribe to both our sister channels from the FFTV, which is FFTV Premier League and FFTV TheHighPress. Some of the work that Dino's doing at the moment, guys, if you haven't already seen it, I'm sure you've seen a couple of his clickbaity thumbnails, but his videos are absolutely top notch at the moment. So make sure you're over there, make sure you subscribe. And in terms of the shows that we're doing on these two channels, or those two channels, should I say, because we are on the main FFTV channel at the moment. There's going to be the weekend, what we called it, Super Sunday, Super Saturday, and Soccer Sunday. There are two watch-alongs on a weekend, and this weekend it is a Super Saturday show. So we're going to be going live from about 2:40 for the 3 o'clock kickoff. So please make sure you join in. And this week it's not going to be on the FFTV channels tour. So you need to be subscribed to FFTV Premier League and FFTV TheHighPress to make sure you can join in with those shows. So please go ahead and do that at some point. I'll put the links in the chat in a second, but we want to make sure that you guys are involved in all our shows. And this,
mate, James, if only you knew, my friend. The news coming soon, but it's not me.
Oh, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, watch your space.
Watch this space. It's
kind of
not
spooky.
me.
It's kind of spooky what you said there, but
Spookily close.
you are spookily close, mate. So yeah, MOTD is a name of a game, but you could be a nice surprise this weekend, guys. So just keep an eye out and make sure even when you are subscribed, you got the notifications on for all the channels as well, because we're putting out stuff all the time. Hi Harvey, nice to see you here, mate, and hello to all the guys who are here. Bobby Vegas has even joined us, mate. Hi Mark. Mark's always a legend, but Bobby, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. And yeah, he was trolling me through one of our shows last week. We're level on points, mate. We're level on points, and I'm just ahead of you for some reason, but we are level on points. But we'll bring up the league. Should we start with that? In fact, should we start with last week's mini league, Dino, results, and then we'll go
Just
into
hold on, please, caller. Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have it. Slick. There you go. Shall I go into that a bit more?
Yeah.
Not that screen. Hold on. This screen.
And we'll
see that, everyone?
Yeah. Cool. And you can see.
Look at that. Runaway leader.
A runaway leader who's got a 16-point lead at the moment. Carl Lysett had a really great week, and he did use one of his tokens though, didn't he, Dino? He used his
bench boost, look.
He used his bench boost. So that's not one I was looking at. But yeah, he's had a decent week. He's had a very good week. Overall, you just scroll up a bit. I think overall I saw him in about top 7,000 or something in the world, which is absolutely amazing for any member of our. Yeah, there we go. Overall rank is 6,580.
Is that in the world?
Yeah, that's in the world.
Jeez.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? So that's amazing for one of our.
That's incredible. You know how many people play it as?
Just short of 10 million, mate. It's 9.9 million. Yeah,
Robin,
just short of
you're a
10
ledge.
million.
Robin, you can
Yeah.
take over the show next week.
I haven't done too bad. And let's just have a look at Ronald Danilo, who's got 111 points for that game week. Let's see.
Yeah, but is
Did
that
he
with a
use
bench
any?
boost though?
No token
No.
used on that one.
Oh my God.
So yeah, he had Trippier and Botman. Leno 10-pointer. So he's got a triple Newcastle back line, and he got the maximum points he could have got from those. Only way he could have been any better is if he'd captained Trippier, to be honest. Other than that, he's had an amazing week. And the midfielders, this was a week for the midfielders to start scoring points as well. Bruno Fernandes, who a lot of people dumped out of their team, finally came good. Saka got a couple of goals, even though one of them was an own goal. As far as how that first goal was given to him, I really don't know.
How injured is he? Do you know?
Well, this is what we want to talk about. So I haven't made my transfers this week. I've only got one free transfer, and I've got a couple of players on flags. And by the flags, this basically means when they've got a warning next to their name in terms of an injury. So I've got two players with flags on them. So if you want to click on my teammate, 6 in the and you can see Langer's golden boot winner is just behind me. I had a decent week at 82 points, and I bought Salah in. Now I'm hearing a lot of people talking about their what they're gonna do for their what's it called? Not the free hit. What's the other one?
Wild
Basically
card.
the wild card. Yeah. So most people are looking to do the wild card after this next international transfer break. And the main player they're trying to get in is Salah. I went a couple of weeks early, and I made sure I had 2 free transfers last week to bring Botman and Salah in, so you can see the benefit. The only issue, so when I bought Salah in, I had to debate between taking Saka out and taking Rashford out to bring Salah in. For that one, I made the wrong decision because, as you saw on the previous screen, Saka came back with 13 points last week, and Rashford only 3 points. So I would have been a 10-point difference if I'd gone, and I would have kept me a little bit of money in the bank, a little bit more money in the bank as well. But I can't regret making my decision. I based it, given Rashford was up against Burnley last week, you would have expected them to come back with some points. I'm just waiting on Maddison and Botman's injury news. So there was a
You didn't leave
post-match
any on the
press.
bench either, did you? I always like to
No,
see that.
which is perfect. You know, that's what we always like to see. And my rotation with Turner and Onana's working really well at the moment. When one hasn't played, because their fixtures have worked quite well. So when we've had a more difficult away fixture, I've put Onana in, and when vice versa. So they've rotated really well, and I've never rotated my goalkeepers before in FPL.
Goalies are cheap, aren't they? Really, he's only 4.9.
He is 4.9, but there are some more that people are going for that are a bit more on the more expensive. So the likes of Leno and Edison seems to be a hot property at the moment. But I just don't see enough value in your goalkeeper to be spending more than 4.5 million, really. Yeah, no Forest players. Yeah, that's
out.
Well, I have got one. I've got Turner on the bench, and I have been playing Turner. But the point is, what's let me down in the last season was heart over head at times, having Forest players in there. I've not had to make that decision this season. And if you look at my overall ranking, if you just scroll up a little bit, Deano, I ain't doing too bad. 164,000. My highest was 106,000, and I dropped down to 260 after that poor game week 5. But I've clawed it back a bit, so I'm doing better. And I will do a video on this as well. I'm doing better than all the experts that I follow. So I'm no expert and I'm no pro, but I'm doing better than some of the others. So that's all I can say in my favor, mate. Let's go through some of the other teams.
Where's the league? Oh yeah.
So that's it. We'll shout out Owen as well, because Owen's had a decent start to the Premier FPL altogether, hasn't he? He's a bit where is he? There he is, number 19, Oreos, and that's you can shout him out. That's Dino's son Owen, and he's had a decent couple of weeks, to be honest. He's in there. but plenty of green arrows that you can see. But I just want you to pause. So, right, let's look at number 21, Fortingham Norris. Got 72 points, but still managed to get a red arrow this week. That's how tight it was. That's how many people got good points out of last week. So you could have got a 70-point week is good in most weeks, but to get a red arrow out of it just shows how competitive last week was in terms of results. And Mitoma was his star man. Oh, yeah, Trippier in as well. And yeah, Leno's a goalkeeper that a lot of people have gone for. And we'll talk about that.
Trippier out last week, you know. I'd have probably given up if I'd have dropped him out.
Yeah,
I probably would have done. I'd probably like rage quit.
Honestly, if you've done something like that, do you want to bring up your team, Deano?
Yeah, just a minute. Just wait while I scroll down a bit.
You're not that far behind.
Here we are. I had a good week. Look, 84.
84 point green. It's a green arrow, mate, and it's a strong green arrow.
I'm 1 millionth and something in the world. Great.
Just under 1.2 million.
I didn't leave any. Oh, I did. I left a Kanji some points on the bench, but that's all right. My defense did quite well.
Yeah, your defense did
so
really well.
Yeah, I mean, I went a bit early with Saka. I got rid of him and because I wanted to get Salah in game week 9 anyway.
Yeah.
So I took a -4 hit, which I'm a bit pissed off with doing now because I wanted to get. Can I talk about my team?
Of course you can. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about what your plans are for game week 7.
So this double game week for Luton and Burnley. So I bought Morris in because he's nice and cheap. And Koleosho, who absolutely ripped Forest apart.
He played really well.
He's not got any numbers yet of note, but I don't know. He's looking good. So I've took a bit of a punt on him for a cheap midfielder, but it was all to get kind of Salah in really. And then Thingy got injured.
Saka.
Yeah, Saka.
Yeah.
So I bought Salah in. So what have I got in the bank? Does it tell me?
It will tell you on your, if you scroll
list.
up. On your list page.
No, it won't.
If you scroll up a bit. Go to status. Yeah. And my team.
Oh my god.
It says and it will should tell you what you got in your bank if you press. You have to press game week history. Just so on
right. I've got some in the bank anyway. So I was going to bring Madison in. But then he's injured, and I don't know how serious these injuries are because I've not kept up with it. So, but I'm going for a 3-4-3 this week, riskily playing him on the bench, basically because my passion for Forest, and he can't do well against Forest. Do you know what I mean? Well, as soon as Worrell gets hold of him, he's done, man.
As soon as Worrell gets hold of him, Jesus Christ, mate! I'll remind you. You said that on tomorrow night's preview, gore preview of.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've risked anybody in the double game week or anybody in the chat. What's all the bloody hate for me in the chat? Sperm banging. I'm going to catch up with you a lot later, though.
Right. So, I mean, is there anyone in the chat taking a risk on any game week 7 players from Burnley or Luton? Personally, I love a double game week, but this one hasn't excited me. But looking at their fixtures, I don't like the teams, and I don't really like their fixtures. Of any of them, Morris would have been the one I'd possibly looked to have gotten. But for me, I would have had to sold Alvarez to get him in. And
does away games impact what you do with your side? Like if they're playing at home, do you generally play them?
Yeah, it does. I will have a look at it, and I'm more likely to play a home player than a away one if there's a decision to be made. But you got to look at also who the opposition are. You know, away to Sheffield United isn't the same as going away to Man City, for example. You know, so you look at the opposition, you weigh up who the others are up against, and also you're looking at the form of the play going into that game week. But double game weeks wise, I'm with you on in terms of Morris. He's the one I would get in. He's got 2 goals already, admittedly 2 from penalties, but he does like a shot from outside the box. The least you're going to get out of him, because he plays 90 minutes as well, is hopefully you're going to get 4 points out of him. Is the minimum 2 points from each game. It'll be nice to think like he could get you a goal in those 2 game weeks as well. I mean, looking at the opposition as well. So is it Everton and Burnley? Of the 2 teams, so I don't like Burnley's. We've got obviously they've got 2 away fixtures in their double game week, and yeah, of course, Newcastle away and Luton away. Not the easiest fixtures for them to take. But in terms of the Luton players, yeah, Morris would be possibly the one I would go for. I wouldn't take any risks in terms. I wouldn't take out an Alvarez, as I would have to bring him in. I still think Alvarez will return more points in 1 game than he will in 2 games. I could be proven wrong on this one, but but yeah, anyone else in the chat who's taken a game week 7 risk on bringing any of the double game week players in?
By the way, as we've had a poll, somebody's put a poll up. Who is better looking, Deano or Felipe? Who do you think won?
I guess you won hands down, mate.
Felipe amazingly won past me. 62% of the votes. I've frozen. That's
do I want to know who came in second?
I came in second at 29, and you were dismally in. You were dismal in 8% of the votes.
Yeah, see you later, guys. Show's over. End the stream, Dave. Good job. I'm not. Good job. I'm not that salty.
Yeah, you're right, DJ Tone. It is
dumb and dumberer.
Right. So I can't get access to your team now, can I? So I'll have to stop sharing. Do you want
me to bring my? Well, I'm not doing in terms of like I haven't made my transfers yet this week, and I'm just holding off to see what happens with, like I say, with injuries to Botman and Maddison. So that may be where I go. So, guys, what I do, and I will, I'm going to tease you guys a little bit with this, but a couple of things I want to mention that. When it comes to the players, most transferred in players, and there's a little bit of a jinx going on at the moment, or a little bit of a curse, should I say, because since the start of the Premier League, Fantasy Premier League this season, the most transferred in player has returned the least amount of points on each occasion. I'm just trying to find the article that's related to it, because it's absolutely amazing. Obviously, it was Alvarez last week who only returned 2 points. Now, Alvarez is obviously a top player, and what happened in that game was the sending off in the second half, and unfortunately for Alvarez, he was a pawn. He had to go off to for them.
He's watching what?
He was the pawn, so he ended up being a player that they took off to obviously to solidify their defense. Normally, he's a good shout, but yeah, I'm gonna try and find. Sorry, let me just find this article and then I will share it with you, because it is really interesting how these the most bought in players don't tend to return the points that following week. And the problem is for this weekend, for this week at the moment, Botman is the most transferred in player. And there's an injury doubt over him. So I'm trying to find this tweet, mate. Sorry, I didn't save it. Let me find this tweet.
It's the plan, boss. It's the
plan. There was a post-match conference after Newcastle's victory over Man City in the League Cup last night, and what was mentioned by the manager was that they've got a lot of injury doubts, and you mentioned about Botman's knee injury, so there is potentially a last minute or late fitness check on him. So just be wary, because he is the most transferred in player this week, and like I say, the jinx may continue on him because of So here's the tweet. So let me just. So I'll share my screen in a second, which would make it a little bit easier. But definitely, there's a few tips I've got for you for this week. So for who you should buy, sell, keep, and avoid. Let me find this page.
I've got no chance, part of a man bun. Only if I put a cob on my head. 50% chance, Botman playing at the weekend. I mean, I'm reluctant to put any Chelsea players back in, you know.
So
I've
if
got
you have a
Chilwell
look
on
at
the
this
bench, so I'm
tweet,
thinking
guys.
of sending out.
So if you have a look at this tweet, Eddie Howe tells at BBC Newcastle, Callum Wilson was left out tonight because of hamstring tightness, while Sven Botman has a knee injury problem. Alexander Isak came off with a tight calf. Bruno twisted his ankle, and poor Dummett has cramps. So he's like 6-7 players he's mentioned there. Dan Burn and Martin Dubravka are both unwell. So there's about half a dozen players or more mentioned there that most of us have been transferring into our teams at the moment. So just a slight bit of caution, guys, when you're looking at the Newcastle players, because they are hot property at the moment. They're most transferred in players at the moment. And oh yes, I shouldn't forget this, guys. We've got some sponsorship on this as well. So our good friends at Fantasy Fight. I'll get their names
Fantasy
right.
Island.
Fantasy Island, yeah. Fantasy Football Hub have teamed up with us to give you a 30% discount on their services. So it's a 7-day free sign up. The link's in the description. Click on that and it will send you through. And I'm going to share this with you as well. It will send you through basically
what does it do?
I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you.
Okay, I can't wait.
Let me get the right page on stage. Don't under pressure.
Tell you what, the tension is too much.
Right, where is it? FFTV Hub. Yep, share. Bring to stage.
Shall I sing them a song while we're waiting?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't scale them up, right? Yep, save them. So if you click on the link, it will send you through to this website where you can join the hub, and you will get 7 days free access, and you'll get 30% off if you go through the link in the description. And there is so much for you to go through in this. Honestly, you'll be here for hours. So you can pop your team in. I'm not going to pop it in now because you'll just laugh at me because I know you got what you guys are like. You're just a bunch of trolls. Let me go back to the main stage.
I don't know what
basically,
you mean by
they've got so many tools here. what the trolls? They've got listen. I mean, they've got so many. They've got up. What are you bringing up? Because I can't see it.
Oh, just a bit of trolling. Nothing major.
Oh, needs them, will it? Bloody hell! So, guys,
to be honest,
I used to have really long hair, and people thought I was Mexican. I had hair down to my ass, believe it or not. Anyway, so they've got so many
back, though.
hints and tips on here. You can basically put your you can put your team in. They'll rate it for you. They'll give you every week. You'll get the most likely outcomes for your team, the transfer suggestions, players to look out for, players to put on your watch list, and there's so many tools as you can see. So, guys, while you're here, click on the link. At least get signed up for the 7 days free trial, and then see what you think. Because I honestly haven't been able to get off it. To be honest, it's been a bit of an addiction. There's so much on there, but we've got a couple of things for you to look out for this game week. So I'm going to give you. So the buy, sell, keep, and avoid. I'm going to troll you guys a little bit because I'm only going to tell you 2 of them. The rest of it, you're going to have to watch the next show on FFTV Premier League to get the rest of the results. So I'm going to give you my tips for this week's avoid category. So
you're going to explain why? Because I was going to bring Leno in.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk through why. So with Leno, it's to do with his fixtures long term. Let me just. Oh, that's not the page I want. I want to go back. So with Leno, it's to do with because he's one of the most transferred in players in this transfer window. But I don't like the look of their fixtures. So let me just bring it up in a separate window so I can discuss I can explain to you what I'm actually talking about. Because he's one of the most transferred in goalkeepers this weekend. And there's a lot of players a lot of people have jumped on him. So let me just go into their fixtures to give you. This is so slick today. Well, it's always so slick, but I change. winning.
I found a real variance in the prices this year, from incredibly cheap for some decent players to crazy expensive for the top ones.
So if you, I mean, for Burnt Leno, so the next 2 games I don't mind at all. Against Chelsea at home and obviously Sheffield United at home are the next 2 immediate fixtures. And then we go into a international break, but they come back to games against Spurs, Brighton, Man U, and Villa. And now they're definitely going to, for me, they're teams that are scoring goals, apart from Man U. They are teams that are scoring goals, so they are definite threats, and they're away from home. So long term, I wouldn't want to keep it unless you're going to use your game week wild card in game week 9, and you're going to transfer him out. I wouldn't go in for Leno right now, personally. I would hold off purely from that point of view. Let me just get that off the screen. And Botman is purely down to this injury doubt. So he is the most transferred in player this game week. Over 400,000 FPLers have transferred Botman into their team. And with the news coming out with his injury doubt, and as Mark mentioned in our chat, there's about 50% chance of him playing. You're rushing him in, and the curse will continue, because if he is out injured, again, he's going to be the most transferred in player this week, and he's not going to get any points for you. So the curse will continue into game week 7. And Gordon, now Gordon's a weird one, because Gordon's one who's, if you look at his figures now, and the fact that what's his face is injured. Who is it? Harvey Barnes.
Mate. Gordon's a moron.
Well, personal opinions out of it, but Harvey Barnes got injured, and Gordon came on after about 20 minutes, and he had a really great game. Obviously, they won 8-0. He was involved in goals and in assists. And throughout the season, to be honest, the only reason I've not talked about him is just because of the rotation. So if he's been starting, he's usually been playing about 60 minutes to 70 minutes, and Harvey Barnes has come on. Now Harvey Barnes is injured, and Harvey Barnes was the rotational risk for Gordon. So I can see him getting a lot more minutes. The issue I have with Gordon, and is the same issue I had with Jackson going into last week, he's on 4 yellow cards. So sooner or later, he's going to get that suspension. So maybe I would get him in, but maybe I'll just wait. I will answer that question, Mark. Maybe I'll just wait until he's got his 5th yellow card, had his suspension, and then I'd be looking to bring him in, because he's a bit of a hothead as well, isn't he, Deano? I don't trust him not to pick up a yellow card this weekend like Jackson did last weekend.
Yeah, but he's getting on form, isn't he? That's the thing. I don't know about Calvert-Lewin, mate, because he's proper. Like I think Bobby Vegas said, he's an injury waiting to happen. He is.
Absolutely. So I can't believe that about 30,000 people have transferred him in. I would wait.
I didn't get it.
I would wait until I would wait until he at least plays 3 or 4 games in a row, because he's been so stop-start. It's unbelievable. He has got talent. He's certainly got ability. And I love the way he took his goal. Garner set him up beautifully on the weekend. But he's an injury risk. He's still a flight risk for me. So I'd give him a few more games before I'd even think about transferring Calvert-Lewin in. So they're my avoids for this week. So Leno, because after these next couple of games, if you're looking at him long term, I wouldn't go for him. And plus, he's 4.7 million, slightly on the higher side. I wouldn't be looking to spend more than 4.5 million on a goalkeeper, to be honest. But if you are going to go for it, maybe Leno's a one. I just don't like his fixtures after the international break. So unless you're looking to wild card in game week 9 and possibly move him out, I probably wouldn't bring him in right now. And Botman, purely because of the injury risk. And like I said, the curse will continue this week with him being the most transferred in player. And if he doesn't play, he's not going to return any points. But let's go.
Can you answer Mark's question here? Because he's sitting there having his dinner and he's waiting with his glass in his hand. He's waiting
with his glass of wine in his hand. Yeah, the difference between a wild card and a free hit. And I did try to explain this on another video, and I got them the wrong way around. But I knew what I meant anyway. The wild card, you get 2 wild cards a season. The first one from the start of the season until the last day of the year. So on New Year's Eve, midnight, that one ends. It gives you the opportunity to change out your entire team, and it's a permanent move. change out your entire team without losing points for transfers. So you can make free transfers for that entire week. A lot of people have used it. Over 1 million FPLers have already played their wild card. The experts are saying to play after this next international window. Reason for that are several. So you'll have about 8 to 9 weeks of game data, a lot more understanding of what players are playing, what formations they're playing in, and how they've been doing. Secondly, it will be after another international break. So if there's any injuries you need to account for, a wild card is the best way to do that. And thirdly, and I forgot my third point, but thirdly, basically there's plenty of opportunities for you to change your teams if you time it right. But a lot of FPL players are trying to get Salah into their dream team, and they see the only way of doing that is by using this wild card. So the wild card lets you change your entire team. Playing it too early can be a problem because then it's a long wait before the next one's available. The next one is available from the 1st of January until the end of the season. So you could wait until right at the end of a year to use your first wildcard, and then your next one's available from the next day. So the wildcard lets you transfer out your entire team. It's a permanent move, but you don't lose points in terms of transfers. Like you would lose 4 points for every transfer you make every 3 months. But
so congrats to Chris there. Sorry, who's picked out the the on-purpose error.
Well spotted. Well spotted. Yeah, I got carried away with the Newcastle team.
He got away with copy and pasting new in each time.
You sussed it out. Where was I? So in terms of the free hit, also you can transfer out your entire team, but you can only do it for one week, and then it reverts back to the previous game week's team. When to use a free hit? So a free hit, as Deano has pointed out to me as well, is best used on a double game week when you're trying to get some players in. So you haven't got, so say there's a double game week for Man City, Liverpool, and Villa, and you haven't got many of their players in, but you want to get their players in for that double game week. You can use that free hit, transfer all those players in for that game week, but then you will revert back to your previous team for the following week. So that's when to use it. It's best to use it when there's a double game week. So hold on to your tokens as much as you can at the moment, because it's great. You will get a bit of a boost if you use them right and you time them right, but you've used yours. You know, I know there's people in our mini league who've used all their tokens already this season, all their chips, should I say.
It's like shiny toys. You want to get them out of the box and play with them straight away.
Yeah. So they've used a triple captain. So your chips are your triple captain, your free hit, which is what we're discussing now, and your bench boost. And all three of them are best used in a double game week. And there will be double game weeks coming up. Interestingly, there could be an early double game week coming up for Man City because they're out of the League Cup. So there's potentially a game that they were going to be blanking in game week 19, which it could potentially move forward. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you have got your alerts switched on and your notifications, because I will be letting you know when these news bits drop. So let's go on to the players I'm going to recommend you to keep. And this is based on the stats on amount of people who are selling these players. Now, Onana, I bought in pre-season and I've stuck with him all the way through so far. He hasn't done too bad. Like I said, he's rotated really well with Turner for me. I would hold on to him for a few more weeks just because of their fixtures coming up, and I will have a look at their fixtures so I can tell you what I'm talking about. Onana. What's your name?
I've never fancied Onana, you know. He's just a bit of a calamity, James, for me.
He's a accident waiting to happen.
Where's he getting your points from? Is he getting your points from? He's not getting them from clean sheets. What's he getting them from? Like assists or something?
He got me clean sheet points last week, mate. We won 1-0, didn't they? So he got clean sheet.
Turner, man. Turner's a way better keeper.
Yeah, but you know, if you're a Forest fan, so you know Forest fixtures have been, our away run of fixtures has been absolutely horrendous.
That's why I only play him at home.
Yeah, so exactly. So you got to have a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So what's worked for me? So who's your rotational keeper? Who's you've got
Flecken, but he's
haven't
gone
you?
off the
You got
boil.
Flecken.
That's why I was going to bring Leno
Yeah.
in until you
Yeah.
don't bring Leno.
Who you playing in goal this weekend? Obviously, we're playing Brentford. So who
Turner
have you gone for?
is at home. Leno's away.
You put Turner in, okay. So yeah, the reason for Onana is I actually like their fixtures. I'd stick with him for now. Apart from, so they've got they're home to Crystal Palace this weekend, then they're away to Brentford, and then after the international break, they've got an away trip to Sheffield United. Then they get their tricky fixture, which is home to Man City. But after the Man City game, they've got Fulham, Luton, Everton. 3 games where you can potentially get points. So I wouldn't be rushed. It's been really hard for me to transfer a goalkeeper out. The only way, I think the only time I'm going to get rid of him is when I do play my wild card. I still haven't decided when I'm going to play it yet, because there's one player I want to get in. And I'll tell you that on the next video who that is. So do stick around for that. There's one player I want to get in, and that's who I'd use my game, because I don't need to get out Salah in. I've already got him in. But there is one more player I'd like to get in, and that's possibly why I'd use my wild card. But going on to the rest of this keep list, Robertson. I've seen a lot of players, FPL players, selling Robertson all of a sudden. Now, out of Liverpool defense, he's probably the most solid for game time, for starts.
He's got good creativity as well. His expected assists are good, but his assists aren't. So at some point, he's going to come good.
Yeah, at some point he's going to come good. And Liverpool are another team who have got a good run of fixtures coming up. So he's one that I would definitely hold on to for now. And he's the most nailed on for minutes out of that Liverpool defense. So I wouldn't, if you've got him, I wouldn't be looking to sell him. I wouldn't be looking to buy him because of his price tag, but I certainly won't be looking to sell him right now.
There's your Liverpool fixtures. So green is expected win. Yeah. The deep red colour is expected loss. So the redder the colour, the worse it is. And that can be found on your normal FPL screen. So if you click on a player and the player comes up, it'll be there, and you just click fixtures, and then you can see the forward fixtures. Really, really useful. I mean, I used to play game by game last week, which was last year, which was dreadful. And now I definitely look at who's got the best and worst runs and then transfer in and out accordingly.
100%. And
sorry,
that is
show that.
No, and good point, because that is a tool that is available on the Football Fantasy Hub, and it will show you a breakdown of the game week fixtures, and they all grade who's got the best fixtures to who's got the worst fixtures, and it's a really good
Man United one as well.
Yeah, yeah. So there's your Man United fixtures for Onana and why I would keep him in right now. Apart from the Man City game, I think we've got
Brentford, Sheffield United, Fulham, Luton. Notice how I skipped over Man City, Everton.
Yeah, like I say, apart from the Man City game,
7 there.
Yeah, and if you're rotating your goalkeepers, you can rotate him out of the Man City game. You know, it'd be interesting to see what fixtures Forest have got that week. So that's how I've been doing it. It's just without a wild card, I find it very hard to transfer a goalkeeper out. So that's why I've kept him for now. Mbeumo, surprisingly, Mbeumo has been one of the most transferred out players this week. Now,
I nearly transferred him out.
Right, yeah, exactly. So a lot of play, and that's the reason. And I was thinking about it myself, I'll be honest, because he's delivered 2 blanks in the last 2 game weeks. But the fact that now he was owned by about a third of FPL players, the fact that a lot less of them are owning him now is a reason for me to just hold on to him. I'm going to hold on to him for 1 more game week. So for all you Forest fans, he's playing Forest this weekend. I'm going to hold on to him for at least one more game week.
He's on my bench. What's wrong with you? Call yourself a Forest fan.
Listen, no, I do call myself a Forest fan, but I also call myself an FPL.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is where heart over head or head over heart on this occasion. I'm going to stick with him because on 2 occasions, we've had these conversations on a couple of occasions now. So when Man United were facing Forest, it would have been.
I think if Jono would have gone to Brentford, you'd have gone over to Brentford's side. Honestly, I do.
I'm not that flip floppy, mate. But yeah, listen, as does, and you're right, Pat. I do, but he let me down last week. That's because you lot all jinxed him. You lot all jumped on him, and that's why he got no points. So yeah, don't leave my Alvarez alone. But you'll be back.
This is Brentford's fixtures if you got Mbeumo or any other Brentford player. So a bit of a mix to start with, and a really good run here.
Yeah, so I wouldn't, because so many people are selling him, I wouldn't sell him right now. I would hold on to him because he is, listen, he's definitely their most clutch player. It doesn't matter who they're playing against. He's likely to get penalty. He takes their penalties. He loves scoring a late goal. 2 game week blanks isn't enough for me to drop him out of my team right now.
There's
Yeah,
a
fair
Forest
play.
fan right there.
Yeah. That's fine, but we'll see how your What's your team name, Fungal Baby, in FPL? And I'll keep an eye on you. I'll keep an eye on you for next week, mate. Just let me know what your team name is, mate, and I'll keep an eye on it for next week.
There you go. Challenge. I think Elanga's Golden Boot Elanga's trolling you a bit as well. He's up for a bit of banter. He's doing better than you, I think.
He's not. He's behind me. We showed the league. He thought he was ahead of me, but he ended up. Well, we're level on points, but he's still behind me. He's still up my arse.
Right. So who we got now? Yeah, Alvarez.
So, and Alvarez, the amount of people have jumped off him because he had a blank last week is ridiculous. He's still, for me, the best second striker in FPL this season.
This shows you how good I am at this game, right? I nearly got rid of Trippier and bought in Alvarez last week. Can you imagine how depressed I'd be?
You've done that.
Honestly, I nearly did. I was like, everybody's on Alvarez. I'm missing out. And then, like, what was it, 1 point?
Yeah.
And then 18 for Trippier. Oh, exactly. Man. I would honestly, I would have probably finished. I'd have probably just been the mod for the rest of the.
I would have been a 17-point swing, and you probably would have used 4 points. You were taking a hit as well, probably, most likely. But yeah, no, hold on to Alvarez. He's going to come good again. He just had 1 blank goal game week.
Dog in the third. Sorry, Doglin the third is his name.
Okay, I will keep an eye on that, mate. I'm starring.
Hey,
that,
Sarah.
So,
Sarah. Where are you in the league then, Fungal Baby?
Yeah, where are you?
I don't mean to call you baby on stream. Sorry.
Can I try and shall I try and find him while you're?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. How long do you want me to fill for? How many pages you got to go down? Hey, you're not the only one that control. Hey, Sarah, have you got have you got an FPL team? I didn't know you were on FPL.
Hey,
Red
Sarah.
Dog. He's Red Dog.
You probably
He's just transferred Alvarez in. That's all right. He'll be all right. You know who else I think he'll be all right?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Is Nicholas Jackson. I've just done a whole video on. Well, I've written a whole script for another video on Chelsea, and his XG's massive, man, but his goals are terrible. But I think he'll get it. He got 2 goals last night, 1 disallowed, didn't he?
I know.
So I think
but
he'll come good.
But he's suspended. He got that 5th yellow card. Remember?
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did. So
you see, I'd have probably transferred him in there, Ez.
I shouldn't have told you. Oh, God. I shouldn't have told you. But surely you would have seen a flag anyway. He's got
I would have done.
Flag.
Yeah.
He's got a big red flag.
Yeah, I would have done.
Next to him. But yes, mate. Below you should be.
You guys when it comes to predictions.
He's on 314. He or she is on 300. Yeah, sorry. He or she is on 349 points. So I will look out for you. So yeah, you're still about 50 points behind me, mate. So good luck.
Hang on a minute, Alanga. Aren't you below us as well?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Right. So you're both below us.
Well, I think he was saying about himself. He should be ashamed that he's below me. Yeah, you should be ashamed, especially when you're trolling me halfway through one of my shows last week, saying how you were ahead of me. But that didn't last long, did it, mate? So
why am I way off? I'm just bad at the game.
You know, mate, you've pulled it back. You had a good week.
Yeah, I had a jammy week. So Sarah's asking what the code is. So where can we find the code?
So the link is in the description.
Wolverine, drop it into the chat if he's there, please.
Yeah. Sarah, it is in the description. If you're on the FFTV main channel, in fact, it's on the description on all of them. So you'll see the code. I think, if I remember it, I don't remember it. Let me go on to our Premier League.
Same with you, baby Fungal.
I will copy it and I'll post it in the chat now. Hang on a second.
Thank you.
Won't be too.
Yeah, it's fairly competitive, as in, like, people like us, you know.
Will you go to the?
Keep telling me he's so far up in the world.
Listen, mate, I've done the Troll United team, and it's had a shocking.
Is he doing better than mine? Tell everybody what your Troll United team is.
Well, it's right at the bottom of the league at the moment because I basically started it from game week 5 from scratch, and my aim is to troll a load of you and get past you in the next few weeks. But I've not had a good start, to be honest. It's not gone as well as I hoped it was.
I'm getting a bit worried, actually.
Let me find it.
Oh,
Troll
this is
United.
fighting talk, Langer.
What are we saying? Hang on, let me just I'll
There you
bring
go.
up.
He'll be top next week. I'm not so would surprise me. I've always seen him up top. Fungal. It is how many's in the league, guys? There's quite a few, isn't there now?
Yeah. Over close to over 200.
Yeah,
Over
200 in there.
We've got a few new comers this week as well. Oh my god, I'm off the bottom. I'm not even bottom. Right, Troll United. Okay, let me
Me too, Chris. Me too.
Just saying.
It's a bit late now. He's giving us this information. Jeez.
Listen, guys, I'm doing. If I wasn't doing shit, you guys can complain.
Yeah, you're doing all right. To be fair, it made me laugh when when I was ribbing crypto, and then he was beating me the first week or second week, like by a long way.
Crypto keeps going back.
I realised that wasn't very good at the game then.
He wanted to triple captain Haaland the first game week, and I told him not to. And I think Haaland scored 2 or something like that. And he's never let me live that down. But I said, crypto, mate, use it sparingly and use it. And he's used most of his tokens already, or most of his chips already. So I never told him to.
You've not told us what you're doing then. You've I've dropped my pants for you and showed you my team. So what are you doing then?
I told you I'm waiting. I have to wait until I know what's happening.
What's the options?
So the options are
Guru.
If I need to swap out Madison or Botman because they're both injured out.
Are you going to bring in for Madison?
So for Madison, I'd probably be looking
Barnes or Saka.
No, yeah,
that's what I'd do.
I'd be looking at potentially DRB or Gordon for 1 week, even though I've told you guys to avoid him.
Is it because you want him for yourself?
Yeah. Well,
there you go. Can you use bench boost and triple captain in the same week?
No, so you can only use 1 token per week, and that includes your. So you can't use a token while you're using a wild card as well. So if you're using a wild card that week to do all your transfers, you can't use a token that week either. So you can't combine your tokens, unfortunately. Reading all those notes. No, it's honestly, not just that. Proper trying.
You know what? He's after you. Honestly.
Guess what? I've got a channel devoted to it, so I kind of have to do a little bit of research. Shoot me for that.
I think Ez versus Elanga is like Forest versus Sheffield United.
Keep an eye on this for the rest of the season, because I think, exactly. Gordon's that's what I said. If you were paying attention, Mark, that's why he's on the avoid list, because otherwise he's a great. Look at his value, 5.6 million, and he does actually play for Newcastle. 5.6 million, and if you look at his returns last week and the previous weeks, he is a really good option. What reason I hadn't gone for him before was because it was so much of a rotation with him and Harvey Barnes. But I said Harvey Barnes is injured now, so he will get game time, but he's on 4 yellow cards. So I might risk him. Like I say, only way I'd bring him in is if Madison can't play this weekend. But I wouldn't be looking to take Madison now. He's one of my top players. So I'm not going to tell you anymore, guys. You're going to have to tune into the next show to find out who I am recommending for you guys to buy and who you should sell. So you'll have to tune in to the next show for that. And that's going to be on the FFTV Premier League show. So make sure Premier League channel. So make sure you go over there.
YouTube fight. That's what we want to see.
A ladder match, Hell in a Cell.
Ladder match.
And I need.
There's a question here. No, I don't think you can if it's a Sky League, unless you started a team already on the FPL, and then
I did my FPL with Sky, not with Premier League.
Yeah,
I mean, you can start from scratch. You can do what I did.
You lose in the first 6 game weeks.
Yeah.
I lost 3 game weeks last year. I joined a league, and I still did all right in it. I finished second. It wasn't a big league. It was just two of us.
Right. So, okay. So, I'm sorry. Is he talking about joining our mini league?
Yeah, but
so you said you can join the mini league, and your points. I know your points do carry over, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. If you've started an FPL one up. I did my FPL with Sky. So did you do an FPL league, the Fantasy Premier League, or did you do it on a Sky thing? Because I think, does Sky have a Premier League thing?
Yeah,
So basically, if you join the Sky League, you can join any league and your points carry over from the first game week or whenever you started. So yes, just if you put !FPL in the chat, you should get the code up.
Yep. But I have started, so I'll bring it up again. There you go. Oh, it's such a gangster. Am I really?
Sorry,
Right. So
I'm looking at bringing questions.
Sorry, if you click on that link, that will take you through to our mini league, and you can join through there. And yeah, you can. Your points will start counting from next week.
Obviously, don't do it on the screen, otherwise you'll be pausing the stream.
Yeah,
do it in the chat.
Do it in the chat, guys.
Chat.
What with? Yes. Just to say, I am going to leave you with a cliffhanger. Not Sarah's laughing comment. Sorry, but laughing emojis. Who said I was going to leave him on a cliffhanger? Where is it? Yes. Red Dog. Yes, I am going to, because you're going to have to just tune in to find out who I'm recommending for your game week 7 buys and sells. So yeah, make sure you tune in. I will hit the notifications button because I don't know what time I'm going to be doing it yet. So make sure you have subscribed to FFTV Premier League and FFTV TheHighPress for all your Premier League news, basically. Deano's done, like I said, some amazing videos. We'll be doing our Super Saturday show on FFTV Premier League and the High Press channel this weekend. So you must be subscribed and hit the notifications button so you know when we're going on. And guys, I am going to leave you on a cliffhanger. Deano, have you got any last words? As if you're on death row.
Yeah, we need to get Sarah this code. She just wants the code. Is it down in the description? So after the video, Sarah, if you kind of watch the video back, it'll be in the description there. There's the code there that you need.
The actual code, I'll tell you now, because it's I've got it. Hang on, let me tell you. I can just read it out.
Just drop it in the chat as.
Well, that's the link. So the code is that bit right at the end.
RM17EC. There you go.
Yeah, that's the code. So RM17EC is the code, all lowercase. That's the actual code, and that will get you.
You got that, Sarah? Give us a thumbs up, Sarah. Look, stop trolling.
So,
oh my God, I tell you, who's trolling? Elanga Golden Boot, man. If I finish below, I'll retire. You proper. This is it. The cage fight I want to see. Actually,
we've clipped it. We've clipped that. We've saved that comment, mate. I will hold you to it. But Sky, yeah, they do have their own fantasy Premier League Mini-League. Do they have their own actual fantasy football league? I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into that into another show. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. Thank you for everybody who joined. Make sure you hit like on the way out. I forgot to ask you to do that. Make sure you hit like on the way out. Make sure you have subscribed to all the channels. Hit the notifications button. Second part of this is going to come out, and our Super Saturday this weekend, and we've got some special guests joining us for the stream.
Yeah, so we've got 5 games. We're covering 5 games.
With 6 games on, we're covering 5 of them, so we've got 5 guests with us for the show. So make sure you do tune in. So hit the notifications button. Thank you guys for everybody who took part. We had a great show. We've been doing nearly an hour, Deano. How the hell do we do this show? Yeah,
missed my hairdresser appointment. Shit.
It's never a 20-minute show, is it? You know. But anyway, thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you for all your comments, and we will see you soon. I'll remember to press end stream in a second. Take care, guys. Come on, you ready?